Every woman carries two versions of herself, the one she shows the world and the one she hides even from herself. You think love is about protecting her from pain, but the truth is, sometimes you must be the man who dares to break her, not to destroy her, but to free her. If you can't touch her soul where it hurts, you'll never touch her heart where it loves. Step 1. Breaking her walls, not her spirit. Every woman you meet carries invisible walls around her heart. They're not built overnight. They're the result of years of experiences, betrayals, disappointments, and lessons learned the hard way. Those walls are her shield, her safe zone, the one thing that protects her from getting hurt again. She doesn't build them because she wants to keep love away. She builds them because she's terrified of letting the wrong kind of love in. She's been through moments where giving her heart freely cost her peace, her trust, and even her self-worth. So now she stands guarded, smiling on the outside but cautious on the inside, letting you see just enough to keep you interested, but never enough to truly reach her soul. And if you don't understand why those walls exist, you'll mistake her guarded nature for coldness or disinterest, when in reality it's simply survival. When you come into her life, the easiest thing you can do is to play along with her comfort zone, to stay at the surface where things are light, easy, and undemanding. That's safe for you, and it's safe for her. But real connection doesn't grow in safety alone. If you want her love, not just her attention, you must have the courage to gently but firmly push past the layers she hides behind. Breaking her walls doesn't mean barging in with force or trying to dominate her. It means you take the time to understand her fears, to listen to the unspoken stories, to pay attention to the inconsistencies between her words and her emotions. It means seeing her patterns and knowing exactly when she's retreating out of fear, even when she pretends she's fine. The breaking I'm talking about is not destruction. It's not about overpowering her or proving you're stronger. It's about using patience, emotional intelligence, and steady presence to show her that her walls are not protecting her from you, because you're not here to harm her. You're here to show her a deeper version of herself, a version she's buried under years of self-protection. Sometimes that means calling her out gently when she hides. Sometimes it means refusing to play along when she tries to push you away during moments of vulnerability. It means showing her that she can be safe with you without having to keep those barriers so high. The process is slow, it's uncomfortable at times, and it requires you to stay grounded when her defenses come up. But each time you help her lower one of those walls without making her feel exposed or unsafe, you're not just breaking her walls, you're strengthening the foundation of trust she has in you. Step 2. Challenge her comfort zone. A woman's comfort zone is not always a place of peace. Often it is a prison disguised as safety. It's the space she has created where nothing unexpected can happen, where she can predict outcomes and control her environment. On the surface, it seems like the perfect place to be, but deep down, it keeps her from experiencing the growth, depth, and emotional connection she truly desires. Many women have been hurt before, so they build a routine, a pattern of living, where they don't have to take emotional risks. They keep their hearts just out of reach, believing that this distance will keep them from being broken again. But what it really does is keep them from being fully alive. She may laugh with you, talk with you, even share her time with you, but she will not hand over her heart unless you have the strength to disrupt the still waters she's been floating in for too long. Challenging her comfort zone doesn't mean creating chaos or unnecessary drama. It means becoming the kind of man who encourages her to step into parts of herself she's been avoiding. You call her out when she hides behind excuses. You invite her into conversations that make her think in new ways. You refuse to let her settle for mediocrity in the relationship, in her goals, or in the way she sees herself. Instead of always agreeing with her for the sake of harmony, you present her with perspectives that challenge her thinking. You give her experiences that are outside of her normal patterns, not to make her uncomfortable for your own benefit, but to help her see that she is capable of so much more than the safe space she has built for herself. When you do this with the right balance of firmness and care, you awaken a part of her that may have been asleep for years. She begins to feel excitement again, not just because you're new or different, but because you remind her what it feels like to take risks, to feel alive, to step into unknown territory with someone she can trust. The truth is, comfort is addictive, but it is also numbing. And when a man can guide her out of that numbness, when he refuses to let her hide in the shadows of predictability, she will start to see him as more than just a partner. She will see him as the person who has the courage to lead her into parts of herself she didn't even know existed. Step 3. Exposing the truth she hides. Every woman carries a version of herself that the world will never see. It's the version that comes out only when she's completely alone, when no one is there to judge, criticize, or misunderstand her. This hidden truth is not always dark or negative. Sometimes it's her most vulnerable, most authentic self, the one that feels too raw to share. She hides it because life has taught her that people don't always value honesty. They value what's easy to digest. Over time, she learns to wear masks, a confident smile, a composed tone, an image of strength that convinces everyone she's fine. But behind those masks are fears she doesn't talk about, insecurities she doesn't want to admit, and dreams she's afraid to pursue. She doesn't hide these truths because she wants to deceive you. She hides them because she has learned that revealing them often leads to pain. To truly connect with her, you have to be willing to go beyond the surface she shows you. That means noticing the moments when her words and her energy don't match, catching the subtle shift in her tone when she talks about certain topics, or feeling the tension in her silence when you've touched on something meaningful. It's about creating a space where she feels safe enough to lower the mask without fear of being judged or used. This is not about pressuring her to open up before she's ready. It's about showing her through your consistency and emotional presence that you can handle the parts of her she's been hiding. You're not just there for the polished version of her. You're there for the unfiltered, messy, and sometimes conflicted truth. When you begin to see through her layers, you will realize that the truth she hides is often the most beautiful part of her. It's where her real emotions live, where her deepest values are rooted, and where her truest desires are waiting to be acknowledged. But accessing this part of her takes patience and a willingness to hear things that may not be easy to hear. Sometimes the truth she hides is tied to old wounds she hasn't fully healed from. Other times it's tied to fears about the future, fears of being abandoned, betrayed, or misunderstood again. By holding steady when these truths begin to surface, you show her that your interest in her is not conditional on her perfection. You show her that you are willing to know the real her, not just the image she's comfortable projecting to the world. Step 4. Triggering her self-reflection. There is a moment in every deep connection when you stop simply existing in each other's presence and start holding up a mirror to one another's truths. For a woman who has spent years moving through life on autopilot, repeating the same patterns, holding the same beliefs, and responding to love in the same ways, that mirror can be both uncomfortable and life-changing. Triggering her self-reflection is not about criticizing her or pointing out flaws for the sake of ego. It's about awakening her awareness to the choices she makes and the reasons behind them. Many women live in cycles created long before you met them. cycles influenced by childhood experiences, past relationships, and the standards they've unconsciously accepted as normal. Until someone helps her see these patterns clearly, she may never question them, and as a result, she may never truly grow beyond them. When you trigger her self-reflection, you are inviting her to step back and examine not just what she's doing, but why she's doing it. You might ask questions that make her pause and think. You might share observations about her behavior that no one else has dared to mention. Or you might challenge her when she falls into habits that sabotage her own happiness. This process can be uncomfortable for her, especially if she's used to people simply agreeing with her to keep the peace. But when she realizes that your challenges come from a place of genuine care and respect, she begins to see you differently. You're no longer just someone who fits into her life. You're someone who is willing to help her reshape it. Self-reflection can be a confronting experience. It can make her realize how much of her life has been lived in reaction to old wounds rather than in pursuit of new possibilities. It can reveal to her the fears she didn't want to name, the standards she has lowered without noticing, and the parts of herself she's been neglecting. By being the person who sparks this process, you're not trying to change her into someone else. You're helping her become the truest, strongest version of herself. And while she may resist in the beginning, there comes a point when she will feel gratitude for the fact that you didn't let her stay blind to her own patterns. Through your willingness to hold up that mirror, you give her the chance to not only see herself more clearly, but also to decide with conscious choice who she wants to be moving forward. Step 5. Earning respect through strength. A woman may be drawn to charm, appearance, or even shared interests at first, but lasting respect is earned through strength. Not the kind measured by physical power, but the kind that shows up in character, integrity, and emotional resilience. Strength is the ability to remain steady when she tests your limits, to hold on to your boundaries even when emotions are running high, and to act with principle when it would be easier to take the path of least resistance. Many men misunderstand this and believe that constantly agreeing with her, always giving in to avoid conflict, or making endless sacrifices without self-respect will make her love them more. But in reality, a woman cannot truly respect a man who doesn't respect himself. If you fold every time pressure is applied, she will see you as someone she can control, not as someone she can trust to lead. Earning her respect through strength means you refuse to compromise your values for temporary approval. It means you can say no without guilt when her requests go against your principles or when they cross the boundaries you've set for your own well-being. It means you are consistent in your words and actions so she knows where you stand and can depend on you to be the same man in moments of calm and moments of chaos. This steadiness is what allows her to relax into the relationship because she understands you are not swayed by every shift in emotion or circumstance. Strength in this sense is not about dominance, it's about stability. It's about showing her that even in disagreement, you remain composed, fair, and unwavering in your truth. A woman's respect is not automatic. It's cultivated over time through the way you handle challenges, respond to her tests, and manage your own emotions. She will pay close attention to how you react under stress, whether you can remain calm when situations turn tense, and if you can maintain control over yourself rather than lashing out or retreating. Your strength becomes the foundation upon which her trust is built, because she knows you can handle both her softness and her storms without losing yourself in the process. The more she sees that you can stand firm without being rigid, and that you can protect your self-worth while still caring for hers, the deeper her respect for you will grow. Step 6. Rebuilding her trust. Trust is not something that flows endlessly once given. It is fragile, and for many women, it has already been broken long before you ever entered her life. Past betrayals, disappointments, and moments of abandonment leave behind scars that shape the way she approaches love. Even if she wants to believe in you, a part of her remains cautious, watching for signs that history might repeat itself. This is why rebuilding her trust is not a matter of one grand gesture, but of consistent, intentional actions over time. You cannot rush it, you cannot demand it, and you cannot manipulate her into giving it to you before she is ready. Every step you take must show her, not just tell her, that you are different, that your words align with your actions, and that your presence is steady whether life feels easy or difficult. Rebuilding her trust means showing up in the moments that are inconvenient, not just the ones that are comfortable. It's about following through on your promises, no matter how small, because each kept word repairs a part of the foundation she has lost faith in. It means being transparent with your intentions, not leaving room for her to wonder where she stands with you. Trust grows in the clarity you provide, in the way you communicate honestly even when the truth is uncomfortable, and in your ability to remain dependable when it would be easier to withdraw. This process requires patience, because her instinct to protect herself will sometimes make her question even the most genuine efforts. There will be moments when she tests you, not to play games, but to see if your consistency is real or temporary. She might withdraw emotionally to see if you'll chase her, or she might express her fears to see if you'll dismiss them. In those moments, your response will matter more than your words. If you meet her hesitation with reassurance instead of frustration, if you continue to stand present instead of retreating into defensiveness, she will begin to lower the guard she has kept for so long. With each moment you prove that you will not abandon her when she is vulnerable, she begins to replace the doubt in her mind with belief. Over time, this steady reliability becomes the proof she needs to let go of the fears that once dictated her love, allowing her to trust not only in you, but in the possibility of love itself again. A woman's love isn't won by chasing her approval. It's earned by touching the parts of her she doesn't show the world. Break her walls, not her spirit. Challenge her comfort zone so she can grow. See the truths she hides and hold them with care. Trigger her self-reflection so she can meet the best version of herself. Stand in your strength so she can trust your leadership. And when trust is broken, rebuild it not with words, but with consistent action. Love isn't about avoiding her storms. It's about walking with her through them until the sun comes out. The man who dares to love her in this way will not just win her heart, he will keep it.